Okay, so you'd gotten to that point, and you're now a landlord, right? When you started the first one, you weren't a landlord, and then you got 2 people, and then when you moved to this one, you now have 4 tenants. Yeah. What was that like? Because you can enjoy the process of the work, you can take the risk and get the money, but then you get in the people business.
Yeah. I mean, we have a pretty tough screening process, so that's been helpful in terms of like, all of our tenants pay on time, in full, consistently, knock on wood. And it's been really great up until the point of this whole flooding situation.
Well, what's the screening process before we get into the flood?
Sure. So we post on Facebook Marketplace, and I used to do Kijiji, but lately Facebook's all you really need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we have an online application, so they read the description, they go through our Google form and fill out the application, but we have a few like preliminary questions, so if they answer incorrectly, I guess I'll say, to any of the questions, then they get booted out. And then if not, they continue. From there, we look at their rent-to-income ratio. If it meets our criteria, which we usually say like 30 to 40%, then we'll invite them for a walkthrough. We'll meet them, and then if we like them, we'll do a neighborly report. And do you want me to explain neighborly? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like an online, it's basically like credit check, background check, employment check. Like it verifies like all your income. And
you're saying like neighborly, like that's your colloquial term, or that's a third-party service?
It's a service, yeah.
Okay.
No free ads, but neighborly's the bomb.
Yeah.
Bleep it out.
So it's like $25 per application. And from there, they basically give you a score. We don't really pay too much attention to the score. We look more at like, whether they've claimed bankruptcy in the past and what their income, verify their income. And then from there, we send over a lease. So,
do you find that because your process is so strict that some people just self-screen?
Yeah, like some
they
people.
don't, like, I'm not going to get this place, and they just don't bother applying.
And that's fine by us.
Yeah, totally.
Because like our tenants are awesome so far. So
And I think that's important. That's something I say to a lot of people, especially when they're starting. You need to be like on the ball and show that you have no kind of open holes or loopholes or anything like that. Because if you show like kind of that you're confused or weakness or anything like that, a poor quality tenant might see that as an opportunity to try and take advantage of you, versus like what you guys have done was making sure you had everything in order. You alluded to it kind of quickly, but you have a Google form that you guys created. So that's something, I think are you sharing it online?
Oh yeah, it's on our Instagram. Like we're open to sharing anything like that.
That's super cool. I'm going to check that out myself, because I hate people. You send over someone an application like, so I don't have a printer and I don't do this. I'm like, I don't know, figure it out somehow.
Yeah. So she built a really slick one that you can just input all your details, and then they have it all for them. It all shows up nicely in a spreadsheet for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was smart. That was really good. Especially today where you get a lot of applicants.
Oh my gosh.
It can expedite that versus like having scans and pictures and
right. I'm so grateful we had this time around, because before the flood, we were trying to get new tenants to replace, because they were moving out at the end of December.
Yeah.
And we've received well over 200 messages at this point for that unit. And then over 50 people actually filled out the application.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
So which unit is that now? Is that the one beside where you are now?
So
or
the
one
second place we bought, so Woodlawn, the basement unit.
Of it.
And that's the one that flooded. So luckily we didn't sign a lease yet for anyone. So it's all, shouldn't say it's all good, but it's best case scenario for a flood.
Is that just up for lease because you just finished it, or someone moved out?
They're moving out.
Oh.
Yeah, they're moving out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now
we got
single family home. What's that?
We got to talk about this flood.
I know. We're
sorry, I know I keep saying it.
We'll go over the last property and then we're going back to this flood.
All right, so one single family home being rented, a 2-unit being rented, lower people gave their notice or what have you, so it was coming up available for rent. That basement flooded. We'll talk about that in a second. And then you have the other 2-unit where you're living in one, renovating. Is the other side done, completed, and rented?
Yeah. Yep. And we're renting it to families. So just to go back to like the whole DR2 notice, like we are doing it to the book. Like we're moving into one side and families renting from us on the other.
Okay, right on. Cool.
When I was broke, I had rich habits. When I was broke, I had rich habits.